I have another rant for today. I went to two banks today. One of them I wanted to put money in my account, and the other one I wanted to pull money out. So I have cash and I go to this bank, and after queuing and waiting and all that, get to the desk, and this woman says, so what do you want? What can we do? Anyway, I said I want to put cash in my bank account towards my credit card. So she gets my card and checks it, and I give her the money. She's asking me where I've got this money from, and she counts them by hand, puts them through this big machine, quite large, like a big printer. And it's not just a counter, it counts, and apparently it registers, it checks for the legitimacy of the notes, and I don't know, God knows what else it does. I asked her, she wasn't very clear on that. She just said these things that I just told you, but I think it does more than that. I think it actually records all the numbers. But anyway, she takes the money from that one and puts it through another counter, a little one, which is just a counter. So far 3 times it's counted. And then in the meantime, some of the bundles of money I gave her, some of them got stuck into that big machine. And literally, the lot of money I gave her was counted probably 10 times. I'm just being very conservative on this. At least 10 times it was counted, as well as being counted by hand. Anyway, cut the long story short, she puts the money in there, and then she says it's all there. Do you want a receipt? And of course I said, yeah, I want one. So I got a receipt and got out. And I'll go to another bank. Now I want to put money I want to take money out of this bank account. Well, first thing she asks, first of all, says, well, I need a checkbook, I need an ID card, because we don't know who you are. You might be taking money out of somebody else's account, as if it's that easy. I wish it was. But anyway, so I give her my driving license, I give her whatever she wants, and my card. She takes them all. She takes them first. Notice the order of the events. She takes them, and then she says, because we are not so keen, these are the words that she actually used, because we are not so keen to give out that amount of money, and it's not huge, it's just £3,000. We are not keen in giving out that amount of money. I need to know why you want this. Are you joking me? This is my money. You're only holding it for me. We are paying you to hold it for me. We are literally paying you to hold it for me. And you get the interest and everything. You're not paying me a penny interest. You're holding it for me as an interest, and I pay you. You're using it for whatever reason you're using it. I never asked you what you're going to use my money for when I gave you the money. And now when I ask for my money, you're telling me what I'm going to use it for. Unbelievable. So I answered her anyway, and then she was happy with that. She takes a copy of my driving license, and she pulls out the money. She gives me another form to fill. She gives me a form to fill, who I am, where my address is, and signature and everything, all my details basically. And now notice this one doesn't even count the money. She takes the bundles out. What she does is unbelievable. She weighs them. She puts them on a scale and weighs the money, the notes, and gives them to me. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. They weigh the money when they want to give you, but when you want to give them, they count it 100 times. They ask you where the money comes from. They ask you where you're going to use the money, what you're going to use the money for. And it's your money. It's just really, it's unbelievable. And they take your ID, they take your form to fill and sign to say who you are, in case the ID that you gave them is fake, and that is not going to ever happen anyway. And they know that. But to just back themselves to do that, they do that. But we never ask them. We never count the money. They don't even give you the chance to count the money. If you want to count the money, they tell you, get out of the queue, go there in the corner and count. And with the COVID and all that, you don't even have a chance of standing there and counting, because there's a limited number of people allowed in the bank. So you can't even count. So you have to trust their word, but they don't trust your word when you're giving them the money to say this is this much. They won't trust you for that. They will count all that 10 times, and when they want to take it out, they ask you why you need this money and where this money comes from when you give them. You need to fill a form, you need to tell us who you are, where you are, and all those details. It just really annoyed me. I was biting my tongue. I nearly had a burst of rage there, but I just thought, forget it. I need this money now, and I don't want to be arguing with her. She takes the cards first, and then she asks what I need that money for. In case she's not happy with my answer, she would have already had my ID and my card and everything. And it's just unbelievable. I'm fuming now anyway. And then when she the first bank I went to, when I put the money in, she says, do you want the receipt? Well, so when I put the money in, I have to just trust you that you just did it. You didn't make any mistakes or anything, because if you do, and if I complain back later, you'll just deny the whole thing. That rarely happens, but it does happen in other companies. It never happened to me in any bank, but in other companies it has happened. You talk to one person and then you go back and talk to them again. They say, oh, we've never known this person. And they ask you who you talk to. You just say, John. No, well, we don't have John. And it's the most common name in the world, but you just say John, and you say, oh, we don't even have John here. Unbelievable. But the point is, you have to trust them, but they don't trust you. They ask you millions of questions, but you can never ask them, what are you going to use my money for? Unbelievable. Can you ever ask a bank, when you put the money in, even at the beginning of your opening an account, can you even ask? And even if you do ask, will you ever get an answer? What you're going to use this money for? What? In which war? In which scheme or scam? You can never ask them. They're the big guys. You can't ask them. They can ask you who you are, what your address is. You can never ask them. You can never ask where this money actually goes, who is the top head of the pyramid. You'll never know that. We are not keen The words, I mean, the words she's using, unbelievable. The words she's picking to use to ask me what I'm going to use this money for. We are not keen in giving out this amount of money, but it's my money. If I wanted to clear my whole bank, I should be able to. It's none of your business. We're not keen. We're not keen. Well, I'm not keen in you asking me that question. You're not keen in giving out that amount of money. You're not giving it out of your own pocket, you silly woman. It's my money. I have paid you for it to keep it. The reason you have bread on your table is because of people like me paying you, paying your branch, paying you that bank to keep hold of our money in the bank. Unbelievable.